All right, we're back. It's another day, and now we have more parts because last time we discovered that what started as a leaking pinion seal has turned into a differential rebuild. So the main thing we got is a ring and pinion set to replace the one that's in there. That's a 350 set. I ordered a new 350 set. I got these from Summit Racing. This is Motive Gear. It's part of their orange box line. That's their higher performance gear sets, but they're still intended for street use. They're machined to be quiet, but they also intend for these to take the occasional street and strip pounding. We got a setup kit, which is vital with new bolts for the ring gear and new bearings and all that stuff. We're ordering stuff from Summit like we often do because even in the wilds of Vermont here, it shows up in like 2 days, worth of regular shipping. And if you spend more than $99, shipping is free. And when we get ourselves in a bind, if we upgrade the shipping just a little bit, the stuff can be here the next day. So we're gonna get back into this and what again turned out to be a complete differential rebuild. Hopefully gonna wind up with a nice pattern on this and that we're gonna have nice quiet gears when it's all back together. But your next step now is what, mounting the ring gear?
Finish disassembling, clean everything up and start reassembly.
Okay.
Get the gears on, bearings. Yep.
Okay, step by step. I'll get this out of your way and we'll dig in.
You ready? Basically, just going to take it all apart. So we've got our keepers for our side screws, end caps, pull the carrier out. I'm going to take all the bolts off the ring gear, get the old ring gear off because we are going to keep the Detroit locker in this.
So what are you seeing there?
Well, you can see the wear pattern. See how it's
Favoring.
well worn there, but the bearing wasn't even contacting here.
Yeah.
It's just like we've already discovered. Somebody assembled this that
Didn't do
know.
it right, yeah. All right, what are we doing?
So I've only got 2 legs left on my puller here. I don't want to break it. So what I want to do is try and get a chisel in behind the carrier in the bearing and just try to get that started because I can't really get under it with this setup. So I've got this chisel set up in the vise. If I could have you hold that, but you need to make sure you're between the carrier and the bearing. And then I'm going to strike it with a chisel on the opposite end.
Okay.
Hang on tight.
I don't know if I should have my hand here, though.
This is why I told you gloves.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
Hang
try
on
that.
tight. Ready? Think that moved a little bit. Let me give it a shot. Just gets that initial movement.
Yeah. All right, so strip down to the locker.
Strip down to the locker.
And this thing looks like it really wasn't very old, right?
No.
Just like everything.
Yeah, everything in this was not very old. Well, not a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was done
Some years have
over
gone
20
by.
years ago, but never saw any miles on it. While I had the ring gear off, I thought I would check the, 2, 4, 5 bolts that hold the 2 halves together. And wouldn't you know it, one of them was loose. So always double check while you're there, even if it's brand new, because, well, we're all human. Always double check. So I'm just going to put a little dab of red Loctite on this. If anybody else ever gets back in here, sorry about the red Loctite, but and I don't have a torque value, so I'm just going to go tight with one hand. And there we go. So what I have here is just a 1000 grit sharpening stone that I bought many, many years ago. I do not use this for sharpening anything. This is strictly for doing my diff work. And I'm basically just going to gently rub it around, trying to keep as much contact as possible, but you don't want to be crooked in any way. It's absolutely critical that these 2 surfaces flat and mate very, very well. Now I'm going to clean this like nobody's business and throw it in our little pizza oven at 200 degrees for 20 minutes, and that will expand it so it drops right on. Okay, ring gear is cooled down nicely. I'm going to Loctite my ring gear bolts. Just lay them out, a little drop on each. Now, one of the things I have always struggled with is trying to hold this carrier assembly while torquing. I've never come up with a perfect way, but I've got a vise, some aluminum jaws. I'll very carefully set that in there.
Another set of hands?
Yeah, can you tighten that up for me?
Yeah.
Be very careful of the bearing surface. I need to put bigger numbers on here.
Thicker glasses.
They can't put any more focals on my glasses. They're all full of focals. I got these text pens. I like to put some paint on them just as a witness mark.
So another thing that came up, we ordered that setup kit I mentioned before, and when Junior went to put the carrier bearings on, they are way too big. So these have a 2-inch inner diameter. This is 1.78
And change.
XX. And so again, another aspect of the Ford 9-inch where there are variations. So measure before you order your parts.
Unlike us.
It was a kit. The
We're
kits
learning.
were always
yeah, the
right.
kit's right. Yeah. We're just going to set this in loosely for the moment. Now, put our yoke on. There is no seal in place. You take your pinion preload measurement without the seal. Just over 20. I'm happy with just over 20.
Why don't I hold it and you can,
Okay, go now.
look, it's 25.
Put your finger on it.
Yeah. If we get it the first time, I'm leaving for lunch and buying a lottery ticket. Because it never goes the first time.
Now you were saying earlier too that you're gonna wanna run a pattern because not only do you need backlash, but you wanna start to figure out where your pattern is happening.
Yes. Yep. So this will more than likely just be an initial, and then we'll look, see what we have, and that'll give us an idea of where to go from there.
Okay. So once you get that torqued, then you gotta check backlash,
Yes.
and you're gonna rotate this, set up a dial indicator.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Back and forth and back and forth. Too much backlash. Way too much backlash.
You're using your built-in dial indicator for that one.
Yeah. So loosen up this side.
Okay, so here again on the 9-inch third member style rear, you get to use the threaded adjusters.
These are awesome. This is so much better than the other style where you have to put shims in and out. Not only that, you can take this out, set it on a bench. There's just a lot of pluses here with the 9-inch. I'm just going to take a guess here, get this set up.
So you can get in the neighborhood the way you're doing it now.
But we have to remember that these are loose.
Okay.
Mm, 7 to 9. Dead on 8. All right, pattern time. All right, we're assembled for our first pattern check. I'm just going to paint the teeth here. Just spin the pinion, keep a lot of tension on the ring gear, both directions. Oh, hey. Ooh, I'm pretty tickled with that right out of the gate. I almost can't believe that. Kind of just surprised. It never goes that easy. The toe of the gear, this is the heel, obviously your top and your bottom. The whole point of this is to not have any very, very sharp edges. You don't want to be too deep down or too high. You can see we're almost dead center in both directions. I would say that's good to go, especially based on what Motive Gear sends along. That pattern doesn't look any different to me. Well, I guess if my word is worth anything, I need to go buy a lottery ticket.
I'm using chrome sockets on an impact gun.
Always.
Finest.
They're gonna complain.
That's okay. Take the normal fill plug out so we get the correct level. Good thing I grabbed another 5-gallon pail for $98.
Yikes. There you go.
There it is.
All right, it's pretty much winter time now. We get a little bit of break. We had a little bit of slightly warmer weather, and it rained a bunch, kind of washed the roads off and cleared them up. So we're gonna take advantage of that and take a little blast with the Comet before the roads get all slopped up again. So far, so good on the rear. It's nice, it's quiet. It shattered a bit when we pulled out of the driveway, but remember, I think this car has a Detroit locker in it. We have to be nice to the differential gears because they're brand new, and there's a break-in procedure that basically says be nice for 500 miles. So we won't be getting those broken in today, so we're not going to be banging gears or doing any burnouts. Getting up to about 50 miles an hour here, I'm going to do a little test of our new brakes, see how they feel. Yeah, we'll slow down pretty quick. You can definitely tell it's manual. So overall, initial test drive on the Comet, I would say success. The rear end is quiet. It's like actually quieter than I would have even expected it to be, because again, 9 inches do tend to make at least a little bit of noise, but it's really quiet. Carburetor feels good. We thought we might have to rebuild it, but the accelerator pumps are working like they should, and the car started up without too much fuss, and it's running along real well. So again, Comet success. Wintertime test drive here in our little window of opportunity. is making us feel pretty good. So we can put this thing away for the rest of the season, get it out in the spring, and Skip should be in good shape. In the meantime, check out our socials, give us a like on the video, and come on back to the Hemmings YouTube channel and see what we're working on next. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.